This is one solution I've come up with to make a automatically opening and closing vent on this little mini grow house, sort of autonomous greenhouse project. So what I've got here is I've got the end panel, the gable end, and that's got the three sort of openings cut out there, and then I've got a rotating vent closer that rotates 60 degrees to close those up, so the openings are all covered now. But what I thought I'd come up with is kind of a little motor with a gear on it, and then gear teeth on the outer circumference of that circular vent. And what I'm going to come up with next is just a little dowel pin here, and there's an indent, and then that will index round, hit the other side of the dowel pin in the closed position. So that will be a sort of rather than using limit switches, I'll just have a manual stop, so it can come round to that way, come round to that way, and so I don't stall the motor or damage the gear sort of train in the motor. I've got a little slipper clutch on here. This is an old cassette loading motor from a VCR. So if I hold the motor firmly, you can see it's just the gear. It's got some resistance on it, and it's not actually turning over the gears in that motor, so it will slip to a certain degree. So what I've got to do with next, I've got to drill the mounting holes in there. This is just a prototype one, so I haven't actually made those in the CAD files for the laser cutting. I just made this vent closer on little CNC engraver. Once I've got the files, and I think I'll just mark the center where this goes, so I know where to set the pitch of the gear teeth. But depending on what kind of motor you use, you might have to drill your own mounting holes. Because I've got a number of these, the motors are all identical, but unfortunately the mounting plates are slightly different, so I'll machine some little mounting plates for those and then fix it in. Unfortunately, it's the gable end is 6mm thick, and it doesn't really lend itself very well to mounting, so I'll have to come up with a thinner mounting plate, and I can kind of set that or maybe rebate that, so I can kind of align the little spur gear with the gear teeth on this circular vent. I think it looks quite neat. The only thing is because this is a prototype, it actually overlaps the edge a little bit, so I'll have to modify the files slightly. And also where I made the fan vent sort of grills, I made those too close to there, so that they hit there, so I've got to change the CAD files to make that slightly smaller. But you expect that kind of thing when you're prototyping things. And I don't know if this would be the final kind of idea or final concept, but what I'm hoping to do is make this open source and get a number of schools to trial it, and then if they want to, if they feel like it, they can kind of modify the files and ideally get some sort of feedback. And especially with the control element, there's so many ways of actually achieving this. What you could do, you could even have a linkage on here, so you could open and close a number just from the one motor, which would be quite a good idea. There's no resistance on there. I've actually got a flange ball bearing in the center, so it's slightly over the top, but I wasn't sure how much sort of resistance these little motors, or how much torque they've got, so I just wanted to keep it nice and free, so there's no friction there at all really. It's quite nice. And these are stainless steel fixings, and I've got a little wash around there. And a button head sort of screw. Yeah, so that's what I've come up with so far, and once I've drilled these out with the mountings and the limit stops, and then I'll program it with, I was looking at using a micro bit as well, which is quite good fun, and then the L298N motor driver. Thanks for watching.